Caleb, I know we talked about how hectic the start of this season was going to be, and it turns out to be 8 games in 26 days to start the year. So, as a coach, how do you sort of manage a stretch like this where it really is kind of game recovery, and you don't really have a ton of time actually on the training ground?
Yeah, it's difficult, extremely difficult, because you're not conditioned to do it. I mean, it's not really made, this game, to be played every 2 days, 3 days like we're doing. But especially when you're not conditioned early in the year to do it. So I'm real proud of the guys, that they've been grinding. I said that to them today. It's on to the next. Mentally and physically, it's a grind, and we got to keep grinding. We got to stay mentally strong and keep our energy up. And that's what we're going to do. It's difficult. You would have liked to have the bye week like Atlanta has when we play them this weekend. That would have helped. But those are things you got to manage in this league. And we've been playing teams in the league that are completely fresh, that get a full week. In Atlanta's case, 2 weeks to prepare, and we're basically just recovering in one day and preparing one day to play. So there's no excuses. You got to find a way to get it done in this league, and these are the challenges. When you're in, the Champions Cup, it's a reward because you did well, but also now it's a challenge to start your year, and you got to find a way to manage it. So we will rotate this game a little bit, like we've been doing, maybe even a little bit more, just to make sure we have energy and that we're fresh physically. We have to be very smart, because not only are we trying to win the league and advance, we don't want to get injured. So, there's a lot of discussions, a lot of hours spent, in tight windows, preparing, making decisions, and trying to do the right thing so that we win all these games. And it hasn't, fallen for us in the league. But we can't do anything about that now. We've got to put that aside and focus now on getting the job done in this first leg against Alajuela. We need to get an advantage in that first leg, going back to the away leg.
I was going to say, you mentioned it's a little bit of a different scenario in this round than the previous round because the first leg is at home. So what kind of considerations, if any, are there, knowing that you have to go on the road for that second leg?
Yeah, I mean, they put the advantage, on at home second leg, because you know what you need to do. So it's really important that we use our advantage in this first leg to hopefully set ourselves up for the second half of the series, and put ourselves in a good spot in the aggregate. Can we get a clean sheet? Very important, because now, the away goals, and can we win the game, and can we have a little bit of a margin? It won't be easy. When you go from the Panamanian team to the Costa Rican team, the level goes higher. They have more quality. They have bigger budgets. They have more talent. They've got a lot of internationals on their team. They have some very good players who've played in World Cups. They have Joel Campbell, who played at some of the top clubs in the world. And so it's definitely a notch up. This leg, this team we're playing. It's going to be harder for us to advance. In saying that, I think we have a good plan. I'm confident that we're going to have good energy in the game. Our mentality, like I said, is very strong, and we have a good read on this opponent. And we rolled out the scout today, and the guys are ready.
And then just finally for me, you've mentioned you've had to rotate quite a bit through the early part of the season, but one guy who's been able to be a stalwart really through his whole career is Dave Romney. And I know he's had some different center back partners, but how solid has Dave been, and how helpful is it as a coach through a stretch like this to be able to roll a guy like that out week after week?
Yeah, so we've played 4 games, 2 of the Concacaf Champions Cup, 2 league games, and I believe there's 4 guys that have played all 4, and one of them is David Romney, Tomas, Dewan, and Matt. And I think it says a lot about just his durability, his professionalism. You can't do that unless you take care of yourself off the pitch. We can see the guys that are true professionals because they sleep right, they eat right, they train right. And in his case, he has 2 little kids babies that he's managing. So just a great player. I mean, honestly, I can't say enough about, Dave. He's very underrated in this league, so hopefully I can bring some more attention to how good this guy is, because I honestly wouldn't trade him as a left center back with anyone. He's just a very, very solid piece. Good on the ball, good athletically, good in the air, and always available, which is massive.
Thank you. We open the Zoom questions. So the floor is yours, Frank De Alba, please.
Couple of those guys, you mentioned condition of DeJuan Jones, who went down late in that game, and Matt as well, who's put in a lot of 90-minute stints already. Just talking about how they're doing, and will they be rotated?
Yeah, I think, in these windows, it's very important that you rely on your sports science and medical staff to help you make good decisions, to look at the training loads, to look at previous injury history, to look at, the questionnaires that we have the guys answer, every single day that lets us know their baselines on how they're recovering. And there's always risk in these windows. You can't minimize early in the year the risk to a point where there's no risk. And we try to. But you try to make good decisions based on what you know and based on discussions. And some of it is also just the player. How do they feel? How are they recovering? And so I think we've done a good job of, over the four games, cycling guys in and out while keeping a core. Because it'd be easy for me to just say, okay, 11 new guys. Well, we're not going to win the game, and it's my job, no matter what the challenge is, to try to find a way to win every game. I'm never trying to lose a game. I'm trying to win every game. And so I think we have a good plan. I know we have a good plan, and I know we're making what we feel are the right decisions tomorrow. But yeah, Matt's a guy he's played every game, but he looks fresh, and he's in a rhythm. DeJuan, if you remember, he played in 90 minutes with the national team even before preseason started. So he's 2 to 3 weeks ahead of everybody in terms of his fitness. That's why he's been playing. Dave Romney, if you look at his availability last year, he was available every game last year. And then Tomas. Tomas is just, a rugged, durable player. Was in Argentina where they train 3 hours a day sometimes and do 2 a days, and you don't even look at training loads. So, he's just a very rugged, durable player. So those are the 4 that have played every game. And some of the others we felt, with their history, we needed to be smart with and careful with. So it's not easy, Frank. Honestly, it's not easy, but we spend a lot of time trying to make the right decisions to win these games.
Now, Rich Thompson, please.
Caleb, could you give us Giacomo's status for the game?
Yeah, he's out. He's suspended. He's the 2 yellows. So, so we'll have to manage again the number 9 position. We are hoping that Bobby Wood will be available. And I can say that with a little more peace of mind this time.
Now, Leo Sendi, please.
Hello, Mr. Clark. This is Leo Sandia. I'm from Teletica Radio here in Costa Rica. You talk a lot of Joel Campbell and the international players that Alajuelense have in the roster. What do you know more about this team? What do you study about this team? What's your principal concern about them? Thank you.
Yeah, again, I said it, the level goes up. No disrespect to Kai, in the Panamanian League. But the Costa Rican Premier League is a notch higher, and they have bigger budgets, which means more talent, and I'm very impressed with their team. I watched their game versus Saprissa. I think it was 0-0. There's a good level in Costa Rica. And when you look at the rosters, you have a lot of players with a ton of experience, international players who have played, like I said, in World Cups and played in top leagues. I think they're a very technical team. They're a very tactical team. And they're very good with the ball. Their spacing's good. Some of their rotations are interesting in how they look to open you up in the attack. I'm very, very impressed with their attacking play. And, they've got very good players, talented players in every position, experienced players in every position.
And the last one, Alejandro Monge.
Hi, Coach. This is Alejandro Monti from ESPN in Costa Rica. Can you tell us a little bit more about your experience dealing with Costa Rican teams? Thank you.
Yeah, so this is my 4th time in the CCL, or it used to be CCL, now it's CCC. And we drew Saprissa when I was in Portland. We ended up not advancing when we faced them. We had to go to the Monsters Cave and play them, and the result didn't go well. So I know very well the level of these teams. Herediano, Alajuela, Saprissa, those top 3 teams are all very good teams, and they have bigger budgets, and they have a lot of talent and experience in their teams. And I've signed players from Costa Rica. David Guzman was a guy that we signed actually after we played Saprissa. Roy Miller is another one. Luis Diaz, when I was with the national team, we went over to Costa Rica. So I know the level very well. I know the players well, followed their national team. And, with Costa Ricans, their mentality is always excellent. They're very professional, good people, just in general, the Costa Ricans I've had. And, very smart tactically and typically very technical. And then you get a guy like a Luis Diaz who has athleticism. So they have kind of a combination of, I would say, the Panamanian athleticism and some of the Mexican tactical and technical.
Thank you so much, Coach, and good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.